A very good afternoon to one and all. Life, explore what's worth living. Such a simple sentence, but has so much meaning to it. Animal welfare and environmental protection has always topped my priorities, thanks to the values inculcated in me by my parents from my very childhood, which states, the earth is not mine alone. It is a space I share with my animals, birds, trees, and the environment. I remember my very first animal rescue. I was just a 7-year-old and we used to live in hospit. My mother used to feed community animals in our locality, and I remember Tommy very well. Tommy was a community dog my mom used to feed every single day. She loved us very much. But Tommy had a little prejudice against few people who had abused her in the past. One stormy, rainy night, a fully pregnant Tommy went into labor right across our street. Soaking wet, she was delivering her young ones. Without hesitation, we went across the street and started picking one puppy after another as she delivered to be brought into our compound and placed them safely under our windowsill. When I picked up every single puppy she was delivering one by one, when I looked into her eyes, what I saw was trust. My endeavor to help her and her acceptance. Community animals belong to all of us, be it dogs, cats, birds. They are belonging to this community. You have pets at home, you take care of them. But what about our community animals? Contact your local organizations, local authorities to get the animals vaccinated in your locality. Get the animal birth control done for these dogs and cats. That is the most humane method of controlling their population and the spread of rabies. Get them access to fresh food, water, and get them medical help when they are in need of it. Community animals become local chowkidars of our area, and they guard you, your community, against all odds. Compassion, dear friends. Compassion is not just a word. It is a way of being. It is not just a concept. It is love in action, said Jeff Brown. Love in action, when backed by strong laws of the land, gives way and strength to our purpose, passion, and principles in life, so that what love you have can be put into action. That's exactly what I did in my life. As the years rolled by, my determination converted into passion and then an addiction. As a student, I still remember of the 10th grade, I would spend my summer holidays volunteering at various shelters and NGOs in Chennai where I studied. Blue Cross of Chennai became my training pad, where I learned why, how, what is the purpose of running an animal shelter? Why do we need shelters for animals? Well, dear friends, volunteering gave me immense amount of satisfaction. Animal activism came very naturally to me because no cruel act is right. It is not justified. Along with my other volunteers in the NGO, we used to go with the implementing authorities, unload overloaded bullock carts, tongas, chickens tied upside down to two-wheelers who were bleeding in pain. We used to unload them, give respite to the animal, give food, water, medical aid. I still remember a very bad case where the yolk had eaten into the skin of the animal and there was a huge sore, and still the owner was putting the yoke and an overload on that animal. The first thing that we did after unloading the animal was educate the owner. Try to explain to him why you have to be kind to the animal you are using. Then, without any option, we had to reload the other animals with the permissible amount of load that was under law. Well, farm animals, dear friends, be it pigs, cattle, sheep, goat, chickens, feel the same amount of emotion, pain, distress, happiness, just like any other being. My anger, my pain converted itself into a challenge. A challenge that there has to be a change in the society. That is, there should be respect for every form of life. My driving force has always been absolute intolerance for any kind of exploitation, be it humans, animals, trees, or birds. I went on to do my law in Mangalore to take forward my objective in life. I remember my career started with taking cases against illegal transportation of cattle for slaughter. I started working with the Gaushalas and the NGOs to help these animals which were being treated so cruelly during transportation and also bring the accused to task. Suo motu, I also took up matters pertaining to saving of trees, deforestation, fighting against deforestation. It is our fundamental duty to protect our environment, dear friends. The trees standing by the roadsides require our protection. The lung space of the city must be preserved. Well, when you say fundamental duty of every citizen, it is governed by our very constitution of India. Next comes the most difficult part, killer plastic. As you see, the plastic is eating our earth, Mother Earth, and the animals are being targeted and the Mother Earth. So, you see here, every single day we get complaints like this. Plastic cow, bottles fixed to the head of these animals, and we go in for the rescue. Try and reuse as much as possible. Reduce the usage of plastic water bottles, plastic bags, forks, spoons. In your own functions, start using steel cups, plates, spoons instead of plastic. That is the contribution you give to your environment. It gives you absolute satisfaction. Human animal conflict has always been there for ages. Sustainable development is a need of the hour. Well, I have been a very emotional person when it comes to animal welfare and environment protection. For the simple reason, I believe in only one motto, that is, every living being has a right to live a life devoid of pain and suffering and die a dignified death. The greatness of a nation and the moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated, Mahatma Gandhi ji said. The love of all living creatures is the most noble attribute of man, Charles Darwin said. But how many of us here, sitting here today, or this generation say this? How can I give time for animal welfare and environment protection when I have hardly any time left after college, studies, work? I'm earning my bread. Well, love for animals must not be only a lip movement. It should be put into action. Will you all not agree? When there's a passion, all the lethargy is overcome and you go behind the passion, is it not? Well, a crusader, a leader, requires this backing of a strong team, honest team, to take on the movement forward. Team building took me 25 years, building a strong team of volunteers, staff, to take upon the movement forward and to continue it every single day. Animals are filled with lot of love, compassion, and trust. We just need to understand their language with an open heart and mind. The language is so simple to understand. Well, acts of kindness speaks louder than words, we say. In my journey, there have been many upheavals. Well, balancing professional, personal life has been very stressful. But the will to help the homeless, helpless animals has always survived. Every day when I enter the shelter, I'm engulfed with an aura of absolute happiness, happy barking, happiness throughout. And what I feel is it's a different world by itself. I think many people who have pets here, who have dogs and cats, will definitely agree with me. Your dog or a cat will be waiting for you at the exact time when you come from your college or workplace, just waiting and say, yes, she's coming, she's coming. And all I want to do is give a hug and say, I'm so happy you're back home. Then how can we just say animals are devoid of emotions? Well, as I said, when I enter the shelter, I'm engulfed with lot of love and affection. I still remember a story, a very, very sad story that took place in the year 2018. That is the story of Orca. Orca, popularly known as J35. She held on to her deceased baby. For 17 days, she swam with the dead baby in the sea and refused to let go of the baby till it started decomposing. Her entire journey was called the Tour of Grief. Exactly, Tour of Grief. Animals grieve when they lose their young ones. Then how can we say that animals are devoid of emotions? My day typically starts off with animal rescues, animal treatments, rounds at the shelter, and always constantly working with authorities to do the animal birth control programs, anti-rabies vaccinations, educating them why it is needed, what is the law of the land, trying to convince the town panchayats, municipalities to do it. Well, that is a process in itself. Then, people management, very, very important. That takes place during my day. Then, my weekends end with animal adoption camps, human education camps, animal adoption camps, which we concentrate and try to promote the motto, let's go Desi. Let's adopt. Let's not shop for animals. Our animals need homes. Open your homes for our animals. So those are our adoption camps that we concentrate on. Well, at the very end, my dear friends, it is actually not who you are, what you do, how old you are. It is basically what is your focus in life, the steadfast goal to help animals, the voiceless but not lifeless animals. If yes is your answer, you're on the right path. Because, don't you all agree? We humans are the most beautiful and precious creations of God. Thank you so much.